Pakistan is a country full of splendors, endowed with natural beauty, richness of resources and a cultural heritage, and of course a land of opportunities, rich with vast agricultural land and inexpensive human resources. The government of Pakistan has declared economical progress of the country as its top priority, as a result of which the country's recent economic growth and ability to reform have earned it a genuine respect both among developing and developed nations, as well as international financial institutions, and ranks amongst the top growing economies in Asia with excellent GDP growth rate. The government has special focus to boost the country's exports, and in due course several relief packages have been announced for industrial upgradation. Furthermore, the local businessmen, investors and industrialists are open to feasible joint ventures and collaborations with foreign companies for product and market development. The essence of the investment policy is to strengthen Pakistan's competitiveness by improving the policy regime, offering fiscal and tariff relief and other facilitating services. Pakistan's interaction with the rest of the world in all fields of trade, commerce and economics is of high order. Nearly 3,000 multinationals are in regular business transactions with Pakistan. The government has opened up almost all sectors of the economy for foreign investors such as manufacturing, agriculture, industry, services, infrastructure, etc. Foreign investors are permitted to hold 100% equity of the industrial projects. Due to its strategic location, provides an ideal transit route to the markets of Iran, Afghanistan, the Central Asian republics and the Middle East, being at the crossroads of the Persian Gulf states, Central Asia and South Asia. Due to its vision of the government to adopt market-friendly policies, Pakistan is now viewed as a leading emerging market, and this perception has resulted in an influx of foreign investments as well as collaboration in the technical fields. The country also boasts a fairly well-developed infrastructure and an abundant supply of skilled, semi-skilled and unskilled labor force at very competitive rates. It also has a highly developed financial sector consisting of a fairly large network of public sector, private and foreign commercial banks, development financial institutions, investment banks, leasing companies, mutual funds and Mudarba fund companies.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and good evening. Viewers, today in our second episode of Potential of Pakistan, we'll discuss the potential of ready-made garment industry of Pakistan. The garment industry has made remarkable progress. Ready-made garments in a wide variety of patterns and styles are produced and exported. Fashion garments for men and women cater to different tastes, ranging from exclusive designer clothes to trendy casuals. In today's fashion trade, internationality is the key word. Our designers keep pace with the latest fashions, and often a unique mixture of Eastern and Western fashion is reflected in the clothes that are produced in Pakistan. Apart from fashion garments, we also produce an assortment of utility garments such as uniforms, overalls, bushirts, trousers, dressing gowns, baby frocks, play suits, night suits, doctor and nurses' coats, drill shirts and aprons. Children clothes are attractive and popular and exported widely. Cotton nets and hosiery exported from Pakistan are known for their fine quality, comfort and are available in different styles, large size, while children's size vary to fit different age groups. Buyers' specifications and samples are also welcome for an industry showing an amazing degree of adaptability and expansion. Exhibitions and fairs are also held to promote and project the products. Before starting with our conversation, now let's see the documentary film on ready-made garment industry in Pakistan.
The ready-made garment industry started in the 70s in Pakistan. With the passage of time and industrialization, this industry expanded very rapidly and emerged as one of the most important small-scale industry in Pakistan. Its products have large demand at home and abroad. The garment industry is also a good source of providing employment to large number of people at very low capital investment. At present, there are 5,000 plus garment units operating in Pakistan. Of these, 12% are said to be large scale, while 88% small, almost cottage industry level. Majority of the units making cotton fashion garments are medium and small size in terms of machines, workers and output, with a few notable exceptions and are scattered throughout Pakistan. The importance of this industry lies in the value it adds to raw material, thereby substantially increasing revenue from its sales in the international market. The industry turns out various kinds of garments for men, women and children, such as plain, embroidered, printed, dresses, blouses, maxis, shirts, skirts, night dresses, tracksuits, and etc. All these are made from cotton fabric and synthetic fiber and are mainly exported to developed countries like the United States of America, Europe, Japan, and Australia. In Pakistan, woven garments have grown rapidly in recent years and now account for almost 10% of Pakistan's total export earnings. North America and the European Union are the major markets supplied by Pakistan and together account for over of Pakistan's garment exports. In order to organize and promote the activities of this industry, an apex body by the name of Pakistan Ready-Made Garments Manufacturers and Exporters Association was established in 1980, which now has more than 800 member exporters. It has two technical training institutes, one in Karachi and another in Lahore, which are imparting technical training to the workers in several disciplines, enabling them to produce the best quality of products for end users. In order to encourage and facilitate exporters, PRGMEA holds Export Excellence Awards every year, the first of which was held in 1998. Besides signing MOU with Dutch counterpart for boosting garment and value-added textile trade, the association sent the biggest ever delegation to Shanghai in October 2006 to take part in the Shanghai International Garment Machinery and Accessories Fair and to explore the possibility of importing China's high-quality, low-cost garment machinery and accessories for the garment manufacturing units. Considering the tremendous potential for export of ready-made garments estimated at around $3 billion per annum, this sector has been granted various incentives by the government of Pakistan. The government would provide free premises to the foreign investors at proposed garment cities to be established in Karachi, Lahore and Faisalabad to start their businesses in ladies' garments for which there is large potential. The premises would be given to foreign investors for a period of 5 years in the garment cities and would include land, infrastructure and other required facilities. The government approved a support package for research and development which includes product development and training and upgradation of IT and professional consultancy of garment units, manufacturing and exporting textile garments to increase their competitiveness in the international market. New technologies for mass customization, for example, three-dimensional non-contact body measurement and digital printing will be learnt about and implemented fast. This means a tremendous potential for meeting highly unpredictable demand patterns for luxury garments and other value-added and heterogeneous products.
Viewers, you have seen the documentary film on ready-made garment industry in Pakistan. Now to talk on the subject of ready-made garment industry in Pakistan, we have got a panel consisting Mr. Majid Aziz. Mr. Majid Aziz is the president of Karachi Chamber of Commerce and Industry, the largest chamber of Pakistan. And besides this, is a former chairman of Sindh Industrial Trading State Association and founder of Pak Japan Business Forum, Pak Sri Lanka Business Forum. Sitting next to Mr. Majid Aziz is Mr. Aziz Memon. Mr. Aziz Memon is the chairman of King's Group of Industries, United Colors of Benetton, and besides this, he is the chairman of Project Garment City, which is government is forming. Sitting next to Mr. Aziz Memon is Mr. Ishtiyaq Beg. Mr. Ishtiyaq Beg is the vice chairman of Beg Group of Industries, the largest producer of jeans cloth denim in Pakistan. So now, sir, to start our conversation, Mr. Majid Aziz, I would like to ask what were the positive factors which results in sudden increase in export of ready-made garment from Pakistan? Because while preparing this program, I saw the figures. In November, it rose up to $865 million, and from July to November, it was 4.192 billion. So, what were the positive factors which results in this sudden increase?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Athar bhai, whenever any government starts having a very close liaison and close nexus with the private sector, then things always go for the better. And what you have seen is a direct relationship and a very close knit relationship, I might add, between the government and the private sector. And as you can see that what we tried to do was that when we were given the target of $18.6 billion by President Musharraf, naturally the target would only be met if the private sector is mobilized and private sector is motivated. It is in the domain of the government to initiate those measures that would motivate the private sector, and on the other hand, the private sector must fully grasp the situation, take advantage of what is being offered, and look around our regional competitors as well as the other global players in the ready-made garment and textile industry, and then move accordingly. What advantage we really have is that over the years we have begun to understand the market quite well. Our buyers know who we are. They have seen us and worked with us over the years. In spite of the quota regime elimination, that relationship has been maintained. We had a few in the initial stage after July. We were getting up how to go about bringing about a paradigm shift in the garment exports. And you have seen the figures of November, you have seen the figures of December. In December also,
it's also on high side.
A 14% I think increase, there was a 14% increase. So these 2 months have given us that impetus to look for from January to June. And I am positive that with the present marketing scenario, which our own private sector is doing and capable of doing, and with President Musharraf and Prime Minister Shaukat Aziz being the Pakistan salesmen, they are going out and now they are talking about aid, not aid, they are talking about trade, they are talking about market access, they are talking about bringing investment here, having linkages, they are talking about developing a Pakistan brand. All these things have brought about a marked change. And I believe your question I would address in this way, that it is the close nexus and understanding and appreciation of each other, the government, the policymakers, and the private sector, the true stakeholders, has resulted in this situation.
That's good. Mr. Aziz Memon, since you are the project director of Garment City, which government is forming, could you please inform us what is this Garment City project and what benefit our nation can get from these garment cities?
I'll come to that, but first let me pick up from the points raised by Majid Aziz.
Please do so.
You know, we mentioned about textile quotas, and I've been the former chairman of the Textile Quota Supervisory Council also. It would be very interesting for your viewers to understand that starting from GATS, we moved on to multi-fiber agreement, and when that came to an end, we moved into the WTO regime. Pakistan is a charter signatory to WTO, which came up in 1995. And according to that, the textile quotas were phased out in different phases starting from 1995, and on 31st December 2004 all restrictions in terms of quantity were removed. The Pakistan was aware of this, and in early 2000, when Mr. Razak Daud was the Commerce Minister, we had prepared a Textile Vision 2005. Now that vision 2005 highlighted that the textile exports of Pakistan, once the quotas are abolished, could go as high as $14 billion, textile export alone. Unfortunately, that scenario did not come through, although the private sector was in the forefront. Prior to 2005, an investment of about $4.2 billion were made in new units, in upgrading the technology.
That's BMR, balancing modernization,
Yes.
I believe. Yes.
And we were fully prepared. All these statistics released by the World Bank and IMF had clearly indicated that the three beneficiaries of the quota-free regime would be China, India and Pakistan. Now, we are definitely today very joyous that our exports are increasing. But that is the slow track increase. We were looking forward to a quantum leap. We were looking to a quantum jump. That is not a dream which is forgotten. We are after it. But it is a little slow. We need to be more aggressive in leaping forward, because here is the opportunity. You have to take it, and we have to. Now today India is saying that they want to take the textile exports to $50 billion by the year 2010. They're, from cotton growing, they have reached 26 million bales. So when you have that kind of quantity available, then the buyers become choosy. So the elimination of growing contaminated cotton is reduced. We are suffering that. So we are on the right track. We are moving ahead towards our goal. Our quality is improving. Our exports are increasing. But we need to have a little more push in it to take it to the further heights. We should not be basically relaxed that we have seen a 4% increase in November and 4.5% increase in December, because these 2 months are the end of the season. So you will see definitely November, December are months of.
It means we need to have aggressive marketing.
We need to have aggressive marketing. We need to review. We need to sit back and review as to what were the factors that we could not get enough market share of the open market as to what India got.
So coming to my original question, that what can be the impact of ready-made garment city?
Garment city, in the trade policy of 2003, government had set up a framework that there should be a textile city, there should be garment cities in Faisalabad, Lahore and Karachi. Now this is on the themes of formation of clusters. Today industrialization is going on the formation of clusters. One of the examples of clusters is Tripur in India. Like today, if India has a knitwear export of say $4 billion, $1.5 to $2 billion export comes alone from Tripur. So Tripur has become that important. Now you look at my friend Majid Aziz's domain of sites in the industrial trading state. Now there they are still trying to put up a water effluent plant. But the industries using dyeing facilities are scattered. Hence, to have an access to that water effluent plant is going to be a difficult job. Answer to that lies in creating clusters. Now, garment city would be a cluster where garment manufacturers would be all together, where the accessories industries would be located, where all the feedback industries would be located, and it could see like a garment city on 300,000 acres, on 300 acres in near Port Qasim or in Baldia, would create about 80,000 jobs in each, and would mean an extra export about $450 million. Now, one thing I would like to add before you invite my friend Ishtiaq to say, you just mentioned that this would go to the foreign councils, Now, I mentioned to you that we could have done better. We are doing good.
Yep.
We are happy, but we could have done better. Now, the fault lies within or outside? There is something outside also.
Definitely.
When, till 1st of January 2005, we were enjoying a tariff-free regime with European Union. When our goods were going up to European Union, zero tariff was being charged. That ended on 1st of January 2005. And after that, due to political reason, we could not qualify for the new scheme which EU introduced, which was GSP+.
GSP Plus.
Maybe we did not do proper lobbying at the right time. It was maybe a little late. Secondly, since 9/11, although what we have done for United States is remarkable, but we have not got any tariff concessions which we have been requesting all along. Now, had that come, our exports would have increased tremendously. Now, EU and USA on one count are denying to us these facilities, whereas our competitors are being given the same facilities on one count or the other. That means what is happening, Atharva, is that we are not being given a level playing field.
Oh, thank you very much, sir. So, viewers will continue our talk with Mr. Ishtiaq Beg after a short break from now. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Viewers, we are talking to Mr. Majid Aziz and Mr. Aziz Memon. Now coming to Mr. Ishtiaq Beg. Sir, you are the largest producer of denim cloth and exporter of denim cloths preparing for jeans. Now, what Mr. Aziz has said is very positive. What's in your opinion, what can be done to retain this upward growth, and what can be the results after establishment of garment cities in 3 different cities, as you said?
Athar Saab, I totally agree with my colleague Aziz Saab that the export is increasing. Garment and textile, both exports are increasing, but it should do better. And I think the government of Pakistan is doing on the right track. We are finding the new markets. Previously, our more than 60%, 70% exports was towards European Union and USA. And that was a very dangerous thing, because suppose in case it will have any problems, it means 60% of total exports will be in problem. Now the government is trying its best, and that is one of the reasons that the Prime Minister and the President, they are visiting other countries, other regions as well. I will give you example of Africa. Africa is a region, more than 1 billion people. And if you look at our exports over there, it's very, very nominal. So now we are heading new regions, and that is one of the reasons that our exports is increasing, which is a very good sign. And second thing, like Mr. Aziz said, that we need new places. Site area where Majid Aziz, he was the chairman, and my factory is there also. That area has become very expensive. Garment industry comes in the SMEs, which is a backbone of any country. It is the single largest sector which provide the jobs. That is the only sector which can provide big jobs to the people. At the moment, textile sector and the garment sector is providing around 40% of our total employment. If suppose somebody wants to set up a factory, he cannot go to a very expensive area. So I think it's a very good idea that we develop the clusters of the places, and all the people will be. I mean, this is what is happening.
What do you mean to say? This is going to help international community buyers? They'll be able to get a product at a cheaper rate.
Definitely, it will be cheaper rate because everybody will be, all the manufacturers will be at one place. It will be easier for a buyer to come and visit that place and, visit the factories over there. There can be one showroom where everybody can display their products also.
They can have their own power generation. They can have their own water effluent plant. There's so
Oh
many
yes,
things in
correct.
Exactly like that.
So what normally people talk about under one roof, it means they'll get all these facilities at one place.
within.
Yeah, within, I mean,
One
if you have
area.
any problem, you can go for the electricity problem. I mean, it's always good if people are at one place, and especially garment industry is a lot of potential is there. We are the fourth biggest producer of the raw material, which is cotton. Our workforce is a very skilled one. It's a 50 years, matured industry. So I think we can do much better what we are doing now, and we are going on the right path. And I hope that, if we will concentrate on the new regions, new markets, I'm sure that, our exports of the garments can be increased substantially.
Oh, thank you very much. So now coming to you, Mr. Majid Aziz, since besides exporter of ready-made garments, let me talk to you as a president of Karachi Chamber of Commerce and Industry, the largest chamber of Pakistan, and a business leader. That since you are involved in government decision making also, from that angle, please reply. That recently garment industry has got market access in China, and besides this, Pakistan Ready-Made Garment Manufacturers and Exporters Association has signed MOU with France. So what you people are doing to gain international market share in this sector?
Again, I would bring about this. It's a very good point because we have to take advantage of two very important events. One was the FTA with Sri Lanka.
Ji.
I believe that a lot has to be done. Sri Lanka is taking more advantage than we are doing. Our exports to Sri Lanka stagnated, but Sri Lankan export to Pakistan have shown a remarkable upsurge. One, we have recently signed an
Because
agreement.
what I think, sorry for interruption, because you have got more responsibility on your shoulders. Because you are exporter of garments, you are president of Karachi Chamber, and you are founder of Pak Japan Business Forum and Pak Sri Lanka Business Forum also.
No, but then that's not the everyday activity.
Yeah, definitely.
Right now, my concentration is on the Karachi Chamber of Commerce, and where I'm there to protect, promote, and project my membership. But the first priority is that I am part of the team, along with the rest of my private sector, to ensure that the government's fundamentals are so positive that gives us enough space to work. It's a very tough world that we are living in. What I like to mention is we have to take advantage of the FTA. Now, China is, we are looking at China more that we'll get things from China. What we should be doing is, China is a huge market. China not only exports, China also is a major importer also. If our garments, our textiles, plastics, whatever, any industry China is ready to ensure that we get access. It's up to us. What we are getting from China is a lot of investment. And this is a very important point related to textile. What we need are mega weaving mills here and high-tech weaving mills. One, because we have done wonders. We are top of the line in spinning, but we need weaving. Now, when we come to weaving, we are exporting cotton to China. The other, which China weaves, then dyes, prints, garments, whatever, and exports to all over the world, and also competing with us. If we have facilities here to have mega weaving mills and targeting China, and China can have a joint venture or 100% investment. We are one of the best investment programs available. We can provide that employment. And from second phase would automatically go from fabric, it will go to dyeing and printing. And when we go to dyeing and printing, not only we get jobs, we get a big advantage. We get top of the line machinery. Our cost of production is addressed. And from there, we can have linkages. What we have not developed and what is severely needed, and which our exporters, our industrialists have to go. They have to go with linkages. They have to go with joint ventures with companies in Europe and America. We have to have that access. For example, if delocalization is a big issue now. In Italy, factories are being closed down. They make the best men's suits. They make the marvelous products. If they can relocate to Karachi, to Pakistan, and they link up with a Pakistani manufacturer, and I'm talking about a micro example, but it will give you the picture. What will happen is, one, they will get a comparatively cheaper product here, but more importantly, the Pakistani manufacturer will get the international access through that company, will get the latest designs, latest technology, and preferential arrangement, because that would be buying from you. Therefore, what this government is now doing it is working with us to reduce the cost of production through rationalization of taxes, reduction of taxes, giving us initiatives
with the intention to pass down this benefit to the buyer.
No. First, we reduce our cost of production to make. See, we have to internationalize. You have to understand that it is time to us to internationalize. What is internationalization? It's not to close down a factory. We are not closing down factories. We are not shutting down. We want factories to be viable, to be competitive, and to be sustainable. If we don't have this, then it's an exercise of futility. Therefore, that is why the government is. I'll tell you one thing. We have ISO 9000, ISO 14000, SA 8000. What advantage would Aziz Mehman get if he has all three, and somebody who, like me, who's not 9000, 14 or 8000? Therefore, our buyers should not just look at the cost factor. There's some kind of differentiating arrangement is imperative, and that can be two things. One, the buyer can give an advantage to Mr. Mehman, and second, the government should encourage industries to go for these this certification, these compliances, and give that advantage.
Thank you.
And finally, one very important word.
Yes.
We need women to come into the workforce. Why we want women to work? So that we don't have child labor. We need women empowerment in many aspects, and that is why Karachi Chamber has suggested to the government that if any industry has 30% or more women of the workforce in that unit, tax credit, we are not looking for exemption, we are looking for tax credit, so that we get that impetus to hire more women. So women empowerment is must. We need we are improving our working environment. It is much better now. We are going for the compliance, and we are addressing the intellectual property rights.
That's
That
great.
also it is a very important factor. So we want to show the world that we are producing products that are addresses all the issues, and this
Right.
is Atharva, a very
Thank you.
pragmatic step taken by the stakeholders,
That's-
government and private
That's
sector.
great. Thank you very much. Thank you. Coming to you, Mr. Aziz, I think this question I have asked in my previous program also, and in future programs also I'll ask. That since you are project chairman of Garment City, and while preparing for this program, I've seen the figures of ready-made garment exports from Pakistan, and what Mr. Beg has also said. I'm very much sure your establishment is known as House of Quality Products, United Colors of Bannon and Keynes Group. But if we look into the figures of export, more than 90% of our exports is directed towards 20 countries, and rest of the percentage is going to remaining more than 100 countries. Why is this imbalance, and what can you do to to equalize?
Nothing. We should not even attempt it. Because the basic thing is that who will buy? Those who have the money. When we do the marketing, it is not the population of that country or the region which is taken into consideration. It is the GDP of that region which is taken into consideration. Now, Africa, yes, Africa has got a big population. Now, we have been doing business with Africa. B means Pakistan. What we have been selling to Africa is grey cloth. We have been selling it for the last 50 years. It's going. It will continue to go. Now, if we have to sign an FTA with Yemen, now what are we going to sell to them? Because see, the thing is that our value added, we have to, if we need to go up in our export figures, we need to go up the value added chain. We need to create quality products at a higher price, and there you have a limited buyers. You know, European Union today is 400 million. USA, you're talking of nearing 300 million. Canada, Australia, these are the countries, Japan, where we target ourselves. And today, and then, you know, distance also is one thing. We have done various marketing trips to South America, countries like Argentina, Brazil, but they are so far away that the travel time of a container is more, the cost is more. Then these countries themselves in their own right are also into the same business. So they have a higher tariffs. Now, Australia today, now if you look at Australia, although we are selling to Australia home textiles, but when it comes to taking value added products like garments, they find it more feasible, more economical, more time saving to pick up the goods from China, because the transit time is 3 days. Our transit time to Australia is 21 days. We do not have direct shipping vessels also. This is another handicap, that Pakistan National Shipping Corporation did not grow the way and at the speed.
So don't
at
you think,
which-
sorry for interrupting, don't you think establishment of our display centers, just like we have established in Nairobi, Kenya, so can this kind of thing help us in supplying goods at lesser time?
No, no.
Workshop-
See, how
Warehouse, you mean?
Warehousing, yes,
I
definitely.
think
We have
yes.
established warehouse. That's how I believe.
Warehousing-
Let me finish, I think.
I mean, I will tell you one thing.
warehousing is good, you know, but warehousing is good for carpets, right? A carpet which was in vogue last year can sell this year. but that warehousing is not good for a value added textile product, because the there are the products change with seasons, with years, the colors change, the designs change. You can't go and stock garments in Kenya or Australia. No, you cannot. Maybe you can stock
Maybe, sir, for a
fabric.
shorter period, not for definitely longer period.
No. The basic thing is that every buyer has got his own size specification. Even within a country like United States, if you look at the sizes, the extra large which is sold in one region is not the same which is sold in the other region, because the people are taller there. So, the sizes, the color, the choices, they vary. Warehousing is good. It could be good for, you can send tents from here and they could be stored there. You can sell carpets and they could be stored there. There are products which could be, but it may not be applicable to a value added sector.
Thank you. So viewers, will be back after a very short break. Stay tuned with us. Welcome back. Viewers, we were talking with Mr. Ishtiaq Beg. So we'll continue our conversation from that point. Sir, I believe you were talking about establishment of warehouses in different countries, and particularly already working in Nairobi.
Yeah. It was a long demand of the exporters to have these type of warehouses in few places which can cover that region. And Kenya was the first model which is quite successful. My group is already exporting and we are keeping our stock there. They give you a period of 2 to 3 months, and within that period you can easily supply that things to the buyers. Wherever there is a problem of the shipping time is too high and the buyer cannot wait for 2 to 3 months just to receive your goods, this warehouse can play a very vital role, because we know the demand of that area, we know the demand of the manufacturers also, what they are interested in. We keep those items there and immediately we can supply. Like Kenya one, I think it was a role model, you can say, and it is quite successful. And it is the demand of the exporters also to have this type of warehousing. Some other places where the shipping period is very high. The second thing which I want to tell you, that I feel that the USA and the European Union's very unfair policies towards few countries, where what they do, they give them the access to their market without duty-free access. Last year, America signed a FTA with Morocco. Before that, they have signed it with Kenya, they have signed it with Jordan, they have signed it with some other Gulf countries, where their garment exports can reach there without paying any duty, which is around 20%. EU also giving Bangladesh GSP facility, like suppose in case if Mr. Majid Aziz will export his garments to the importer will pay around 12 to 13% duty. The same thing is going from Bangladesh. They are not paying anything. The government should pursue these things with this, European Union and also with America, to either give us this facility or give us a even playing field where our exporters can also, compete with them. Because I always feel that our mature garment industries, have the strength much more what we are exporting at the moment.
Thank you. So coming to you, Mr. Majid Aziz, you was talking about a few hurdles or something of trade barriers, non-tariff trade barriers. So what is this all about? Can you please explain us about this?
Well, each country will try to protect its own industries and own industrialists. So different measures are used. For example, countervailing duty, like anti-dumping, it is used. Then they might go for lab testing. Bangladesh wants you to go for pre-shipment inspection. That is okay, but we don't have PSI here. We used to have Kotek and SGS doing the PSI, but we don't have any more. So how do we go about meeting the criteria? Packaging is another thing that they can have their own requirements. All plus the non-tariff barriers, trade barriers, such as they would say, for example, if Aziz man wants to ship to Mumbai, the stipulation would be to first send it to the Kolkata port, and from there it goes, adding to the cost. All these things are ways and means to ensure that your goods really do not come that fast. So what is Pakistan doing? I don't think we're doing too much. We have those anti-dumping, we have put anti-dumping duties on a lot of things. But for example, fabrics. We are getting fabric from everywhere around the world. Suppose the government also issues a certification, say $1,000. So to those companies who want to send the fabrics to Pakistan, we'll have genuine companies sending it to Pakistan, documentation will be possible, and the riff-raff and the under-invoicing, the misdeclaration, the smuggling, all these would be addressed. That is why we have this system. Second, at the same time, I would like to say, for all those who want to see what Pakistan produces, the good things, they are invited to come to Karachi in the end of March 29th, where the Expo 2007 will be there, or they can come on the 1st to 3rd June, when the Karachi Chamber organizes the My Karachi exhibition, and we are going to have a lot of things on display and sell. So our friends all around the world
definitely
can see what we can
from the
give.
platform of this program, you are inviting international buyer
I think
community
you want
to visit Pakistan.
Simple, otherwise the proof of the pudding is in the eating. You want to see knits, you want to see denim, you want to see any goods produced in Pakistan, you can come and see it for yourself.
What are the dates you mentioned now?
The My Karachi is June 1st, 2nd and 3rd, and let me tell you, 450 to 500,000 people come here, and foreigners are coming in.
So it will be a nice opportunity
will
for
be
our international buyers.
Please, that is why we welcome you here. With all facilities, make their stay comfortable. But that is, see, trade, you have to facilitate the importer. You have to facilitate the buyer. You have to provide buyer that charm to come here. And that's what our thinking is now.
Definitely, from the help of this camera, definitely I would like to invite all international buyers and our commercial attaches based in different countries to spread this information in their countries of posting, to inform all entrepreneurial committees of their country to visit Pakistan during this exhibition. And definitely I can assure you that Mr. Majid is a very good host. So coming to you, Mr. Aziz Mehman, since you are also an exporter of garments and you will be there in this exhibition, and continuing the same question from you, that your goods need to go to Kolkata for pre-shipment inspection and different other problems. So recently Pakistan and India has signed a shipping accord, and from this, as a result of this accord, the shipping time will be reduced, because we will be having more number of vessels available for us for export of our garments. Can this thing help our exporters in reducing shipment time?
It will definitely help. While talking of a relationship with India,
Yes.
that's also one region where we need to look into, and our volume of direct trade with India should increase as our political dialogue continues, because there is a lot of trade going on through third countries. We should try and discourage that and have a direct trade. Now, textile machinery were not allowed to be imported. Now, in the last positive list which has come out, textile machinery has been allowed. Now, there was a time when we were making investment, huge investment in textile. At that time, we couldn't get that. But still, I would say that there aaye durust aaye. So it's good, it's there. Now, to summarize, we see basically we have to have a positive scenario for textile, because that's the backbone of our economy. That fetches the maximum number of jobs. That gets you the highest amount of export earning which you need. So we are doing fine, but we need to grow faster.
Definitely.
We need to go little
At a faster
pace. And our present pace is like late poet Munir Niazi said, "Harkat tez tar hai, और सफ़र आहिस्ता आहिस्ता आहिस्ता. So we have to review two things, just to sum it up. One is that we need to look into seriously the cost of doing business in Pakistan. It is very, very important. It's a international, global, open market. No one is going to come to you if you are expensive. You will lose the buyers. The second cutting edge is the tariffs. The tariffs which are imposed by the importing country. United States of America, when they made Sub-Sahara long time back, AGOA, NAFTA, so many, they gave concessions to all these countries to bring in their goods, curriculum without tariff. Now, we are not part of any of these groups. Hence, we have a disadvantage. Then there is one more group which 49 countries are enjoying, and that is the LDC, least developed countries. Bangladesh is part of that. Now, they are enjoying tariff concession. That's why you see today, if you remove that, the growth which is going on in Bangladesh will come to a halt. In these days of competition, 2%, 3% is a high figure. They enjoy 10%, 12%, and when tariffs are looked into, US tariffs go as high as 31.5%. It's very high. How can you compete? So these countries should be politically generous. Now, what has happened in the recent clubbing of the countries, that we have been put together with India and China, which is unfair. Now, these are the two fastest growing, India and China are the two fastest growing economies of the world, which the world recognizes. Now, Pakistan cannot be put together with that. So we are in the wrong place. We need to do some political maneuvering to see to it. When you're talking of the councillors, they really count. They can do a lot in that we couldn't qualify in GSP plus. Now, today USA is talking of creating comfort zones where the goods from these border areas could go into USA without tariff. Now, putting up industries on the borders of Pakistan and Afghanistan is a dream which cannot come true. No. You look at the labor problem, you look at the security problem, you look at the transportation problem. It's no, my friend Istiaq will not go and put up a denim plant on the Afghan border. Why should he do that? Why should he take the risk when he is enough settled here? So these are the important issues which would help our growing industry to grow faster.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, viewers, again, we'll take a short break here now, and we'll be back after this short break. Stay tuned with us. Welcome back. So, we will continue our talk from again Mr. Ishtiaq Beg. So, you are very much frequent international traveler, what we have seen, and you visit normally outside for the sake of business, and you take stalls in the expo center, and you are exhibiting your product there. What can be the impact of these exhibitions in which you are participating, and what can be the impact of exhibitions held here in Karachi Expo Center? As he's telling that your exhibition is going to be held in June and March also. So what can be the impact of these exhibitions?
Athar Saab, you have asked a very good question, because this question is very related with the garment export as well. After 9/11, our exporters, they were living out of the suitcase. They were traveling, they were having problems because, there was a lot of difficulty in getting visas. And all these big countries, governments, where Pakistan was allies, they were not allowing their people to visit Pakistan. In that case, you know, it was like a suitcase, I mean like a salesman, you were going and selling your product to these people. Expo, which is now every year, even from the last 2-3 years, it's happening in Karachi, and it is a very, very important, because what we were doing at our cost, the EPB was inviting all the potential customers from each and every country. They were coming, they were visiting and interacting with exporters, because Pakistan the international media, they have portrayed Pakistan in a very negative way. Like even last Expo, some buyers came and they were surprised because they said, we thought that Karachi was or Pakistan was like Afghanistan. When they visited factories, second thing, they were surprised. They thought that we are just, small exporters. But when they saw our industry, when they saw our garment industry, textile industry, and so many other industries, so they were very convinced. Now, these expos or My Karachi and other things will not, help in increasing the business, but at least, the negative image what they are having, if we will be able to clear that, I think at the end of the day, it will also, because then they will come freely, visit our countries, visit our factories, and at the end of the day, they will place the orders, because importers want to make sure that tomorrow if he is opening LC, his goods will be arrived there on time, there will be no problem. Like in Bangladesh recently, because of the strike and other things, the importers could not get their orders, and there was a spillover, and the orders came to Pakistan. So a small thing can shake the buyer. So I think it's a very good move. And from the last 2-3 years, the expo was happening in Karachi. This year I heard is going to be in Lahore, and it's a good move, because whatever we spend, if you look at the CNN, China and India and Bangladesh, there is a huge amount they are spending to portray their country as a very safe place and very safe place to invest also. So I think it's a good move. And we should do it regularly. And also our government should take up these matters with the USA and European countries to issue the visas to the genuine exporters easily.
Let me just correct.
Please.
The expo is in Karachi, not in Lahore. It is on March 29, is in Karachi.
Okay.
And the My Karachi is the idea was given by Shaukat Aziz Saab, our Prime Minister, and we've been having it for the last 4 years.
That's right.
Yes.
So, sir, coming to you again in the last spell of conversation, what's your overall opinion about garment industry in Pakistan, and how our international community can be benefited from our expertise?
As I said, you have to see our products. You have to see what we do, what we can do. And we have proved over the years that our exports, our garments are one of the best. We have now assiduously going towards value addition. We are not just run-of-the-mill anymore. We are going for value addition. Our backup is getting stronger. I'm talking about our fabric dyeing. We have all those machines. We did $6 billion of investment in the textiles in the last few years. Third, we have a government who understands us. We have a very good equation. Accessibility with the government in power. Our issues and concerns are being addressed pragmatically, and the image of Pakistan can only be enhanced on the positive side is when our foreign buyers come here. They should ignore the travel advisories. These are another reverse trade barriers against my country, because I've seen that when the foreigners come to sell the goods here, sell the machinery, they are going without any escorts to interior of Sindh, they are going to interior of Balochistan, but when they want to buy, these travel advisories come in the way. Second, we need also to go to Haim Textile, we need to go to ITMA, we need to go to all these exhibitions that all over the world. Their countries should also be very positive in issuing visas not only to the directors but also to the sales executives, because this is also very important. And it is this interaction, direct close interaction, that will show the product, that will display the product, and that will not only bring in the orders, but that will provide us the linkages, that will take care of all the problems. Because, for example, as you mentioned earlier about the facilities government is offering, we are developing the national trade corridor. Things are being put in place. We'll have 3 ports. 4th port also we are thinking. Airports are full-time working. Our trains, railway system is much better.
Much better than earlier.
Road network is marvelous. What more do we want? We are in the center. Go through Gwadar, we can access Central Asia, we can access Afghanistan, we can access the rest of Pakistan, and if you want to go to the India or other countries, the access is also available from. So that is our plus points.
Thank you. Thank you. Coming to you, Mr. Aziz Memon, what would you say about this?
No, I think that I would endorse the views of my friend Majid, and we have the opportunity, we have the potential, we have the raw material, we have the manpower, although skill development is also one subject where we need to gear up. EPB has funded about 29 skill development centers.
You are talking about Export Promotion Bureau, that is now Trade Development Authority of Pakistan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Skill development centers, and some of them are working very well. And now recently Ministry of Textile has started a skill development in-house training program, and about 30 factories are participating. We are also one of them, where we train young girls and boys, 60% girls, and a small amount of stipend is also paid to them. The Ministry of Textile shares the cost. They pay for the trainers, and once they complete the training, they get the jobs in our factories. So we need more.
It means trained manpower is coming in manufacturing sector.
Coming in, but we need to publicize this more, so that people don't know, although we give ads about it, but people don't come to know about it through your
this
media and channels. You can talk about this skill development training program, which has been started by the Ministry of Textile. It is a move in the right direction, because if we have to have a quantum jump in the export, machinery and investment alone will not bring in the results. We need to have a backup of trained skilled manpower, and we need to have some better understanding with the countries to whom we sell, so that they don't give us any concessions, but they give us a level playing field, as I explained to you earlier.
Coming to you, Mr. Beg, you have heard the views of Mr. Majid Aziz and Mr. Aziz Memon. What would you say about these prospects, and where do you see Pakistan after 5 years from now in garment industry?
Mr. Athar, garment industry is one sector which has a lot of potential, and I'm sure our growth will be good and our exports will increase, provided we should not encourage exporting the raw material, because if you look at our exports, it's still $2 to $3 billion of raw material we are exporting. By exporting this raw material, we are like committing suicide. We are making our competitors very strong, because they buy the raw material from us. If cotton yarn is a raw material, fabric is still a raw material. I mean, like country like Bangladesh buying our raw material, and their export of the garment has reached up to $14 to $15 billion. So I think we should go into the value addition. This is our survival, and government should try to discourage that raw material should not be exported.
That's good. Thank you. So viewers, with this, I'll thank Mr. Majid Aziz, President, Karachi Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Mr. Aziz Memon, Chairman, King's Group of Industries and United Colors of Benetton, and Mr. Ishtiyaq Beg, the Vice Chairman of Beg Group of Industries, Pakistan. So thank you very much for your participation, and it was really a wonderful discussion, and we had a very good interaction, and your views were highly appreciable. Thank you very much. Viewers, we as a Pakistani are proud of our God-gifted talent and product of garments. We have got the best quality of cloth, fabric and other accessories of garments industry, and we are converting the cloth into ready-made garment with our available talent. The thing which is required is realization of present pace of the world in the field of innovation. We need to gear up our efforts in every field, be it a field of new designing or be it a field of exploring new markets. The world is in need of many more things which are needed for the convenience of day-to-day routine life. And we have to find out what are the things which can be prepared from the items available with us. We have to be innovative minded to develop an idea of producing convenience catering items. We do have talented designers like Maheen Khan, Amir Adnan, Deepak Parwani, Shayan Malik, and international famous personality in fashion designing, Mr. Mahmood Bhatti. Viewers, program Potential of Pakistan is a very humble contribution of ATV in endeavors of Government of Pakistan to execute the plan of President, Prime Minister and Dynamic Chief Executive of Trade Development Authority of Pakistan to professionally expose potential of Pakistan in concerned business circle around the globe. Now it's the duty of all those persons who are directly or indirectly connected with marketing of Pakistani products. All Pakistani commercial attaches based in different countries should not only watch this program but should also intimate airing time in concerned business circle in their countries of posting, enabling more and more potential buyers to reach still quality product. And local entrepreneurs should also send CD of this program to their potential buyers that can enable them to get latest views and statistics of their concerned sector. Viewers, it's not only me or ATV alone. It must be combined effort of each and every Pakistani to project potential of Pakistan. For the best quality of ready-made garments, do contact us at our email potentialofpakistan@atv.com.pk. It will be pride for us to get you connected with the best producers of ready-made garments from Pakistan. Till next episode, Allah Hafiz.